he does the same thing. It's Worcestershire. It's more Worcestershire, sir. He can't play quarterback. Ladies and gentlemen, I've said that Colorado is the most exhilarating football. I lied. It's Miami football. They find a way to make every single game they play as exciting as possible. Shout out to Malik Murphy for throwing 3 interceptions to also make it as fun as possible. But, man, we're going to get into that. We're going to recap some of the 12 o'clock games as well. But the biggest focus is going to be on this Miami-Duke game because I feel like Cam Ward has completely solidified himself in the Heisman race, especially when we get into it. We're going to talk about what happened with Ashton Jeanty last night and him being force-fed to 149 and 2 touchdowns. We're also going to talk about the other 12 o'clock game, of course, Ohio State and Penn State, and how Penn State just can't get the job done. But like we said, the focus is here on the mean green and orange wrecking machines of Cam Ward-led Miami Hurricanes. Let's hop right into it, recap this Duke-Miami game. But if you enjoy college football games, I hope you like these videos. If you don't, dislike the video. If you do, did I tell you to like it already? Do it twice, man. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that fun stuff that YouTubers say. Let's hop right into it. First off, the world can't go around without Twitter, okay? Manny Diaz here, if you can't see it past my giant forehead, he says, there's a great saying, no man crosses the same river twice before he's not the same man, and it's not the same river, and that's really the way I look at it. What does that mean? I don't know, but he's got mad constipation face, so I trust everything that's coming out of everything, all of it. Anyway, let's get into this game. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the fact that, like I talk about every single week with Cam Ward, he is just too confident for his own good, and that confidence leads into that one weird interception when they were only up, I think, a possession for no reason, just to keep Duke in the game, because Cam Ward knows that you want to have a good time in your 12 o'clock block watching college football, and he gave that to you, okay? And we'll talk about Malik Murphy's contributions, but obviously 3 interceptions, you had to do something phenomenal to do that. So let's talk about it. Coming into the game, obviously Miami handles business here. 14-7 in the first quarter is looking like, hey, Duke's got life, but they ain't got enough rice. You feel me? And then the second quarter, Duke starts opening up. You get some 3 and outs. You get some effective offensive play calling. You get that gray Malachi Moore, motion double shift, roll right. Malik Murphy hits him right in the flats. That was a beautiful little play there. A lot of good stuff going for Duke. When you score 31 points against a number 5 team in the nation, I mean, you got to ask your defense not to allow them to score 53. I think that's tough, and that's why I say I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, this is why Miami is this, and this is why Miami. Who did they play? Who have they played? It looks like at this point they've played everyone who they need to play. And it looks like, granted, besides the ACC championship, I'm not sure how that's going to shake out because there is a few undefeated. So if that gets weird, I'm assuming, they're going to be able to be pretty viable to do that. Considering how that goes, I don't see a game where they're going to lose. Georgia Tech's their hardest game left on the schedule right now. So I don't see another game that they're going to lose for the rest of this year. I think if anything, after these first 2 games, not first 2 games, but after this Virginia Tech game, hey, we were saying, the rest bailed you out. You struggled against a Virginia Tech team that, granted, has a good defense. It's a good team. But if you're going to be amongst one of the top 10 teams, because they were hovering around the 8-7 spot at that point, you got to show something. And then you lose by 1 point, in which people thought that the rest bailed y'all out again. Against Cal, I was coming in there and saying that. But again, after Louisville, after Florida State, and after Duke, I think we can just say this is a team that finishes games. This is the team that when it gets to the second half, they just handle their business. It can look as ugly as it needs to look, but they're going to score points. You're not going to stop this offense. That happens to be, if you wanted to know, I don't even have to look it up, but just so I'll show you, this is one of the number 1 team when it comes to points a game, number 1 when it comes to yards a game, number 6 when it comes to points of play, number 1 when it comes to yards of play, number 1 when it comes to third down conversion, top 30 when it comes to red zone conversion. So this is a kind of good offense just on paper, okay? So I think at this point, we've seen that it really doesn't matter what kind of shootout, what type of expose that they get into. They faced nothing but adversity since week 3 of their season, and they've been able to handle it. Cam Ward's been able to be bigger than it. Now, let's talk about these quarterbacks, because I want to talk about Cam Ward. I want to talk about Malik Murphy. As you guys know, some of y'all might not know, but I'm a sad, very, very sad University of Texas fan. Now, Malik Murphy did the Lord's work for my Longhorns. Now, when the big old QE was down for a few games, which he religiously does every season, he's down for a few games of the season. Malik Murphy came in and handled business, and he was pretty bad at playing quarterback, but he was good at being able to hand the ball off, do some things, and you can see some of the, I don't want to say sparks, but you could see some of what people, the reason why he was a 4-star. Okay? It was good to see. You could see the flashes, the peaks, the peek behind the veil of, okay, this is clearly a guy that knows how to spin it in some instances, okay? This game and the game that I watched when they went against Florida State, I've lost all. Like, I'm a Malik Murphy guy. You came from Texas. I want you to do great. I want you to kill it over there at Duke. Dog. I don't think he knows how to play quarterback anymore. He be throwing, like, when you play Madden and your 6-year-old cousin's over and you just hand him the remote, right? And you give him the best team, you know what I'm saying? You put on the Raiders or somebody trash, and you just like, let's see. And that's what it is. We were seeing phenomenal back shoulder fades, both Cam Ward and Malik Murphy, because we're going to talk about Cam Ward too. They both traded beautiful back shoulder fades there with great placement and accuracy. And then I remember there was one time, let me take y'all through my day. I was watching multiple games because I'm a degenerate, right? There's a point where I just, okay, let me pop on. Let's see what Miami and Duke's doing. They handling business. Oh, okay, Duke's actually put some points up. Malik Murphy takes 2 drops, and I just see him crank. Yo, I have never, like, I've never been more confident that a ball was not going to a receiver than in those 2 seconds when I saw Malik Murphy take that 2-step drop back into his own end zone, crank all the way back, and just let one rip. I was like, that's going to nobody. I was wrong because it went to a Miami defender. That was his first interception of the day. That was horrendous. That was terrible. It didn't make sense, but that could be a miscommunication, hey, wrong route, whatever, wrong timing. I can see that. Hey, I thought you were going to take it a little more on the inside. Hey, I was trying to get you more of a jump ball for you to come back. I thought we could make something happen. Cool. Tell me why, and we got to go to the play-by-play. They're up. It gets to a point where now Duke is up by 3 points. Cam Ward throws an abysmal interception, I believe, just before then, right? An abysmal interception just before then. Okay, yeah, so it's right here at the end of the second. So here we are in the third. They're up 3 points. He does the same thing. He does it again, except this time it's even more worse. More worse. It's Worcestershire. It's more Worcestershire, sir. He can't play quarterback. He's playing quarterback like he needed to be benched in practice. Okay? His receiver inside releases on a streak. He's got a corner on his outside. He's got a post safety all up in his grizzly. Malik Murphy in this stance and in this windup where you should always know something terrible is going to happen when Malik Murphy goes, doo. I could see it. I was like, cuckoo. He slung that thing, and I was like, that's going to nobody. Wrong again. Dot to the ops. I don't know why. Was that second? Dog, it's 2nd and 6. And I try to talk to y'all about momentum. I try to talk to y'all about play calling, about how important running the ball is. I'm not just talking about running the ball because you got to run the ball, and I think running the ball is cool, and then passing the ball, and I'm old. What? No, I'm talking about controlling a game. 2nd and 6. We're on schedule. We're up 3, and the third quarter just started. And our last possession, we were a touchdown. We're up 3, and they just scored a touchdown. Why? And I'm not going to blame this on Mandy because I think he called a good game. And I think Malik Murphy was making good plays when they were scoring like they were. But this one is just like, before we even get to the fact that there's no reason to throw that ball at all, like he wasn't even remotely even thinking about being uncovered. And maybe if you put the ball a little more outside, maybe if you were, maybe up and away, maybe trying to test the leverage. But again, that corner is in his hip pocket on his outside. But regardless, this decision was so dumb, and I didn't even realize this because I put this as a note that I was talking about. I actually messed up. I recorded this video with the wrong mic and had to back record this, and I left this part out. This particular part of the fact that forget the leverage, forget don't throw it to somebody who's double coverage, dog. It's 2nd and 6. It's 2nd and 6. You could have thrown the ball away and be in better shape with another run. You could have taken a check down. Why on 2nd and 6? And I get it. You want to take your. I'm not saying don't take a shot. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying on 2nd and 6, you don't need to take a shot. There's no need for that. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. We want first downs. We don't want touchdowns, ladies and gentlemen. So going on to Cam Ward. Cam Ward continues to do this thing. By the way, before I get off of Duke, Moore, number 8 for Duke. That guy's going to the NFL. That guy's good at football. Oh my God, Florida's beating Georgia. What is going on? Sorry, I was just checking that. Oh, check out Indiana's handling business. Anyway, yeah, man. Cam Moore, Moore, who had that crazy, he was like, hold up, let's see if we can find it live. I want to see if I can find it live. This man is Moore. Who he played for? Duke. Can we find that catch? I know that catch is something. Jordan Moore is his name. Here it is. Thank you, Twitter. Sometimes it's good for something. Look at this, man. Look what Malik Murphy ruined. I was so surprised he caught that. I was like, wow. First off, again, I was like, Malik Murphy, why did you throw that there? Pulls it in with one hand, just stabs it, and that's mine. Don't even think about it. Dude is a dog. So before we even get to Cam Ward, that kid, he's going to the NFL. We can stamp it. You can book it. Do whatever you need to do. This interception is Cam Ward doing something that every single week I talk to y'all about Miami football. I tell y'all this. I tell you, my biggest issue with Cam Ward, and it's not really an issue. My biggest issue with Cam Ward is that he's just too confident. He holds the ball for too long. Him and Shador, they have the same quarterback coach, but you know what I'm saying? They hold the ball for too long, and because they're so great at holding the ball and making plays happen, they think they can make every single play. They can make 99% of the plays, but in that 1% where they can't, it looks horrendous. He throws across his body. I want y'all to look at every single pick. Go back and look at every single Cam Ward's interception because I'm pretty sure I've seen every single one because I've watched him do it. I've watched as the announcer says, hey, he shouldn't throw across his body as he throws 50 yards across his body. Similar thing to Cam Ward. I think they're up. They're up a touchdown at this point. Okay? They finally come back. And Cam Ward says, hey, how about I make it interesting? Here it is. Miami's finally up a possession or two. Hey, how about I on 3rd and 5? Guys, and this is what, man, 1st and 10, 5 yard. That means we are what? We are on schedule. If you don't know what on schedule means, it just means that every play you run is 4 yards or more because that means every single time you run a play, basically every single drive you will get a first down. So that's what being on schedule means for an offense. If every single one of your plays is 4+ yards, that means every single time you're gonna get a first down. Basically, that's just how the math works out. We're on schedule here, guys. So boom, 5, boom, we're on schedule within this drive. On 2nd and 5, we throw again. I'm not even that mad at it. To be honest with you, I'm not even that mad at it at 2nd and 5 throwing again. Because again, we're 3rd and manageable. We're 3rd and schmedium. But then you throw a pick then, and not just you throw a pick, you hold the ball, you do all this extra stuff. What I'm saying to these young quarterbacks is I love that y'all make plays, and I love how elite of playmakers that y'all are. But can we make plays? And Cam Ward does make plays when it matters. But let's just not put ourselves in these situations. Like both of these two ugly interceptions from both of these guys were completely avoidable. Cam Ward is just something that he does regularly, and then Malik Murphy, it was just something that he did like drive to drive. Like he just did it back to back because I don't know if he wants to play quarterback anymore the way he was playing it. I don't understand that. I don't get it. Regardless, though, this again is the most exhilarating team in all of college football. I said it wrong. I thought it was Colorado, but go back and watch the Virginia Tech game. Go watch that Cal game, which I passed out trying to stay up and watch. Go back and watch that Louisville game where it was just pure offensive output from Miami being able to respond. There's some exciting times going on around here. But anyway, last recaps for what's going on at 12 o'clock, because it seems like we got a few games heating up right now. It is currently 4:55, so these games are really about to get to the third. They're about to get into the nitty-gritty. It looks like Florida's over Georgia. Oregon's handling business against Florida. Texas Tech's looking to upset the undefeated Iowa State. Indiana, after looking scary in the first quarter, is pouring on Michigan State. K-State versus Houston basically just started, so it's no big dealio there. And then these other games, the big one that, of course, we need to talk about is Ohio State versus Penn State. And I really think this is just one of those things where it's a tale of an offense that just was never ready. I really think that is, because Ohio State and Will Howard just gave Penn State so many opportunities. Will Howard has not been playing his best football. He had that fumble through the end zone, and, of course, that awful pick six, which is really what gave Penn State life to begin with. So just not great play from him, but even worse play from the Penn State quarterbacks, because they had no offense. Again, 13-3. They only scored the 2 touchdowns. And, of course, that first one was the pick six, and the other one they had all that momentum coming from the pick six, coming from those plays. And it just it seems like the Big Ten is in a bit of a snafu right now. Let's hop right into the Big Ten standings. And we already looked at it for both of these teams. Both of these teams, and not except Ohio State, this is the best outcome for Ohio State, because then if they can beat what's called Indiana and Michigan, they're going to be set up pretty good with some decent conference wins. It's some ranked wins too. But now we sit atop here. Oregon's going to handle business. If Indiana handles business, Ohio State is just nipping at these guys, and one loss really, really makes things super duper complicated. So just keep an eye out there, because the Big Ten can shake out to be something interesting. But Penn State's not going to be involved at it. I think they're going to get hit hard in their ranking. I know it doesn't make sense. They're ranked number 3, but you got to remember they're ranked number 3, and they just lost to a one-loss team. And they don't have any other real marquee wins that they can even hang on their belt, from what I understand. Yeah, Washington, Purdue, Minnesota, and Maryland. So I don't want to say that I was right when I told y'all what was going to happen, but I told y'all at the beginning of the season, Penn State's going to hover around the top 10 area. They're going to lose one big game, coast into the season, and they're going to slide into the college football playoffs at number 8, 9, 10, and then everyone's going to be like, what? And that seems like they're setting it up pretty good. But, hey, that was the Miami game. That was that 12 o'clock slate. A lot of good things. Whoa! One last thing. Shout out Restrepo, Mr. Xavier Restrepo. He is now officially the leader in both receptions and receiving yards for the legendary Miami Hurricanes. So for real, number 7. If you're not interested, if you don't know who he is, number 7 for Miami. If you're not as football inclined, Mr. Restrepo, that's big deal stuff from an organization and a program who has produced some legendary NFL talent. It's great to see that and see those records get breaking. But other than that, man, hope y'all like these videos. Let's watch some more college football. We'll recap a few more of these videos soon. Be great. Like this video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. We'll see you next time.